Today, we're at the World Resources Forum Asia Pacific to talk about the fairly complex issue of the circular economy, and in particular, what does it mean to Australia? What does it mean to Australian business? What does it mean to our economy? But ultimately, what does it mean to the prosperity for our society?
It's a really exciting time to be part of this industry. There's a lot going on and some really great examples of companies that are doing amazing things with their own products.
20 years ago, I don't think people knew how to spell sustainability, let alone have any interest in it. Certainly now, it is a lot more people are interested in this space, which is fantastic.
Someone has to lead this, someone has to go first and say, righto, we're going to get out there and show you how this happens.
Probably for the last 2.5, 3 years, our main focus has not been on selling carpet, but talking to specifiers and government about understanding circular economy better than just recycling.
SBA hosted a session on the question of whether or not Australia was ready for the circular economy. And we framed that conversation with an emphasis on business talking about the issue. Across Australia and increasingly around the world, we're seeing that business, perhaps more so than government, is setting the pace on the sustainability agenda.
I think sustainability is part of our DNA, so it is certainly a subject that we are going to continue to push hard. Not just for the sake of winning more tenders, but more for the sake of making sure that people understand that this is something we do for the longer term.
It's good to have the examples of companies that are doing it, because then you can try to understand, well, what makes it a success for those particular companies.
What I think we got out of today's session, which was a fascinating session about business and its interaction with the circular economy, is three things. The first was we heard about how much it's important that people become involved in the circular economy.
When we talk about people, planet, profit, we have that sequence, that order, because it really starts with people in the company and people using our products.
There are all sorts of implications for what sort of business models the companies should take on, and then how that's implemented in terms of bringing about change within the company, and their people issues.
The second was this conversation around procurement. We heard from Tarkett about the opportunity to refashion a product, which is not just about reuse or recycle or reprocess, but to start from the very beginning of the design life of a particular product and know at that very moment in time that you're going to get it back. And in doing so, you actually want it back. So the notion or the commercial understanding of procurement is entirely put on its head.
In a forward-thinking manner, Desso has put together a leasing model that allows a company to lease a product for a nominal period, either 7 to 10 years, something like that. But it remains our property. And the main reason that we want it to remain our property is because we want that resource back. Because we don't just recycle, it's a regenerative system. We can take the carpet back, we make it back into carpet. We don't downcycle it. The carpet that comes back will go back out as an exciting new design in the future.
If we want to make a big change quickly, you need to look at the areas where there's large volumes of waste. There's a huge volume of material that has a much higher purpose in life than filling holes. There's great, amazing things we can do with this material, return it back to productive economy.
The third, and I think this was the most interesting for the Australian economy, is that of pricing.
There's a mindset that a recovered material is worth less than a virgin material, and really we need to flip that around so that people recognise that there is a cost to recovering this material, and really we're providing a service that's important to everyone as a whole society.
It's really about getting it happening so there doesn't have to be a price premium, that it can become more of a matter of mass production or mass appropriation of the model.
Profit is key for us to make sure that we can continue to work, but not at the expense of people and what we try to achieve with the planet.
And so what we heard today from the whole panel, whether it was from business, whether it was from small business, or whether it was from the tertiary institutions, was that this notion of revealing the true price of something or the true cost of something is actually going to be one of the key drivers, particularly for the consumer and for business in its relationship with other business.
So there's a lot of issues to be studied, and I think we're really just at the very beginning of understanding what those different business models mean.
Humans do have an ability to adapt, and I think we're going to adapt.
Shifting that mindset to where recovered materials become a premium product rather than a discount to virgin, I think that's the ultimate aim of what we're trying to do here.
We shouldn't wait, and I hope Australian business doesn't wait. It should be part of the business DNA going forward.